omelette was probably one of the first things that I learnt to cook in the kitchen. They're very easy to do, but it's always important to show off some of the key tips to getting the perfect omelette. My favourite at the moment has classic ingredients, so a bit of bacon, some spinach and some tomatoes, and I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of avocado. An omelette is a lovely way to start the day, and by adding ingredients like the tomatoes and the spinach and a good amount of bacon, it's going to keep you full for a long time. So let's just use about half of this bacon. I'm just going to take off the rind there, and you can leave on a little bit of the fat because that's going to give our omelette some extra flavour. And then you can dice it. So we don't want it to be too chunky in here, so just small squares like this. And then that goes straight into a pan. Now I've got a non-stick pan here. It makes life so much easier when you are making an omelette. So I'll add just a little bit of olive oil. Traditionally you would use butter, but I'm spicing it up here. And in it goes. And I want some colour on this bacon, and I want it to be crispy. So when I cut through those beautiful soft eggs, I get a little bit of crunchiness from the bacon. So give that a few minutes. And now let's get on to the main event, the eggs. I'm going to use 4 eggs for my omelette today. Use the best eggs that you can get. These ones are beautiful, fresh, free-range eggs. And I'm not going to use a whisk to mix my eggs. I think by using a whisk, what happens is a lot of air bubbles form, which means it's going to take a longer time to cook the omelette, and it can tend to go a bit tough. So I use a fork. So the 4th egg goes in. You do need to season this, so a touch of salt. And I love to use cream, but you could use a little bit of milk, skim milk, whole milk, or you could also use some water. But cream makes it really lush. So that's a couple of tablespoons, and then don't vigorously whisk it, just break up the eggs, and when it starts to almost look a little bit curdled, we are right to go. So that's ready. And some tomatoes. This bacon is starting to turn colour now, so I'm going to add these half tomatoes. And an omelette's not just for breakfast. When there's nothing else in the fridge, I've always got my eggs on standby for a really fast dinner. All right, in they go. So let them cook together. So now it's time to add the spinach, so a good handful in there. This is going to wilt down quite a lot, and spread it out so it's really even so we can start adding the eggs. So now you want the heat to be medium. You don't want it to be too hot, because what will happen is it'll overcook the eggs on the bottom and it'll be too gooey in the centre. In with our eggs, spread it around our pan. I'll use our spatula to get most of it out. And then just twirl the pan just like this. Now you'll see it start to set, and this is when I bring in the sides. This is only for the first stage. You don't constantly do it or else it'll turn into scrambled eggs. Twirl again, and then we just leave it for a few minutes before it starts to really set and we can detach it from the bottom. Now you know this is cooked when it's just able to move slightly, and I like mine to be baveuse. That's the word you use. It's a French word, but it just means that it's just slightly underdone, because as soon as we turn it over, put it on the plate, serve it to the customer or serve it to yourself, it'll continue to cook. So just flip it once, and then with a bigger spatula, flip it again, so it's a tri-flip, and then a perfect 3-fold omelette with a little bit of avocado on the side. Avocado loves a bit of salt, and I think it needs a drizzle of olive oil. That is the perfect omelette for breakfast, lunch or dinner.